Starburns Audio.
Welcome to this Starburns Audio Show. We have so many great comedy podcasts to add to your playlist and keep you entertained. Just last week on Starburns Audio, Gilbert Gottfried and co-host Frank Santapadre talked to actress Amy Ryan on Gilbert Gottfried's amazing Colossal podcast. Hosts Keith King-Bay and Jesse Neal presented an episode about playing a pandemic-themed game, Siphon Filter, on the podcast New Player Has Joined. On Dumb People Town, Australian comedian Aaron Chen joins Daniel Van Kirk and the Sklar brothers to celebrate 3 stories about people doing dumb things, including a man asking people to loan him supplies to commit a robbery. Search Starburns Audio on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any podcast platform for a full list of our shows, featuring hosts like Chelsea Peretti, Bob the Drag Queen and Monet Exchange, Dan Harmon, Kyle Ayers, and Miss Pat. Enjoy the show.
Starburns Audio.
Dan and Ren and Jay will share tales of folks so unaware they lack in grace and sometimes choose the life they choose will make the news. Breaking down each epic fail in Florida, there's half-price bail. I'm happy to say they couldn't make this up. So listen to our podcast jams with co-hosts Arm and Dan. Members, don't be a jerk, cause when the music hits, the funny hits, and we are gonna take you down. Stick around. Make a sound, hunker down, it's Dumb People Town.
Hey, Townies, welcome to another episode of Dumb People Town. Population you.
Population Williams.
Brad Williams.
Bradley Williams.
What's up, buddy? So,
Hey, guys.
dude, we were talking right beforehand about Comedy Works, Denver. Is it your hometown?
I mean, it's not my hometown. I'm from Orange County, but I'm sort of their adopted bastard
You're
son.
huge.
Yeah.
You're a
Why'd
huge.
you make it bastard?
Yeah, exactly.
I
Couldn't
mean,
tie
you
the
know,
knot with someone? And
Yeah, you
when
know.
they made you?
Something happened.
All right. So they
love you, though.
They love you there, and you're a huge Broncos fan. So,
Massive.
So speaking of, you just did Comedy Works before the end of the year, and then you were telling us about this Elway thing, which I were like, shut up, and then tell us when you went on the air.
So what happened was I did Comedy Works downtown, which any comic will tell you, one of the best clubs, if not the best in the country.
So great.
And there was a guy there that works with John Elway at his automotive companies.
Heyo.
He sees me go, and I talk about being a Broncos fan while I'm on stage, and he gets in contact with me and goes, "Hey, we do a Christmas party for all the John Elway motor groups, and would you like to come play the Christmas party?" And I go, "Fuck
Yes.
yes."
That's a rhetorical question,
Is Elway going to be there?
That was my next question, and their answer is he only missed one, and that's because they flexed a Broncos game to Sunday night. That had no chance of happening this past year because we sucked.
No, that's all right. It's okay. He's rebuilding.
Chance, they'll come back.
But so I was like, yeah, I'm absolutely in. I've been a lifelong Broncos fan. I've had a signed Elway jersey in my home or apartment that's moved around with me the last 5 times I've moved.
Shadow box.
Yes, and that's my guy. Some people have whoever your athlete is. Like
Ours is Jose Oquendo or Ozzie Smith.
there
Those
you
two
go.
guys
Coming
were
from
like
St. Louis,
larger than life.
Yeah.
People that we've got to meet.
Jose Oquendo was smaller than life.
He was smaller than life. He was about life size.
He was
Tell me how small he was, Sklar brothers.
I don't think you
Tell
would.
me,
I don't
tell
think
me how short he was.
I don't
Tell
think
me
you would
how
understand.
big
I don't think you would
this
get it.
puny man.
I don't think you would get it.
Oh, that's
wouldn't
why.
understand.
That's why I can't watch.
You wouldn't understand.
I can't watch Arizona Cardinals games. A, because they suck. B, because then I get to hear the damn announcers talk about Kyler Murray being 5'10" and how brave he is at 5'10" and how
He
much
is
his
brave.
life must have sucked because he's 5'10".
Yeah, like
He's
even like
brave.
I mean, he's a cheater, but Altuve. You'd be like, so you're not that
5'6".
Yeah,
Dan,
yeah.
Dan, I knew you were going to bring up Altuve because I heard someone banging in a trash can. This is not a sports. This is not a sports podcast.
But I want to say that my people are Doug Buffone and Walter Payton.
All right.
Mark
And you
Grace.
met everyone. All
There
right,
you
so
go,
so
there you
you
go.
go to do this.
Yeah, I take the gig, and as you guys, as we all know, that doing these corporate gigs, it's not always the best situation for
Difficult.
comedy.
Difficult.
Did you have I told you the story of when the Sklars did an RV trade show. Hold on, no, wait, it gets better. The green room was in an RV, which was actually very nice.
Very
Super
cool.
nice.
There you
go.
It was
That's
great.
nice. I
But
wanted to
then
stay in
they
there the
get
whole
up on
time.
stage and they're like, it's about 60 feet from us to the first table. And they go, and they're like, you could drive an RV through here. And the
That
guy
was our
goes,
joke.
well, technically, that's because we have to drive an RV through.
That's how they look at them. You drive them in between the stage. We're like, what are we doing?
So,
Yeah.
so that's the first person in the front row is 60 feet from this.
60 feet
Imagine the
away.
last person. The last person is
Like
at a
1,000
different
feet
show.
away, yeah.
They're at a different show.
It's at a different casino.
Yeah.
And just so everybody knows, we just said all those things. None of that you haven't even gotten to the point of the comedy you're doing. So that's why
Right.
corporate gigs tend to be because there's
They
all
tend
these
to
things
suck.
So
before
was
you even
Elway
get to
there?
a joke.
Elway shows up.
Oh my God.
He's first of all, he's huge.
Huge.
Like he's an like
6'5"?
Yeah, he's an athlete, and his hands are the size of catcher's mitts. Like they're
Gigantic.
Dude,
just.
they're like pads.
And it's John Elway, and I'm just and I don't get starstruck when I meet people, but this is my
Hall
dude.
of Famer.
So
Hall
I'm
of
just like,
Famer.
and I'm the guy that will actually make the argument of GOAT, where you say like Tom Brady, more Super Bowls. I go, Tom Brady had the greatest coach of all time. He had Robert Gronkowski. He had Randy Moss. Look at the NFL Top 100. How many Denver Broncos are on there?
Not many.
Elway. And
Day-
arguably Peyton
TD.
Manning.
TD.
That's it.
Terrell Davis.
That he's not on the top 100, but
He should be.
he's a Hall of Famer. But yes,
Yeah.
it wasn't until he got the running game that he got the two Super
Go
Bowls.
deep.
DM me.
Right.
I'll talk to you
All
about
right,
this.
okay,
I'll
let's-
argue.
All right, guys. Stanford Cal, 82. All right.
If the band doesn't come on the field, he wins
yeah,
the game.
that's
No,
right.
anyway. So like that. So that's happening, and they say, oh, okay, you're going on after the president of John Elway Motors makes a statement.
A hilarious statement. He's your warm-up.
And this is where you guys are all nodding like, oh, I bet that went horribly
Yeah.
because that's what it does.
That grinds the night to a halt.
Yes.
Then they go, and your comedian is Brad Williams.
Yes,
he has appeared on set. No, don't say the name at the beginning. Save it for the end.
I literally. He says, what should I say to bring you up? And I go, I'm not going to tell you. I got 2 pieces of paper. I wrote it
Of
out.
course, you write it out.
And
Verbatim.
I went, read
It verbatim.
this.
Right.
I go, don't, just read this.
Yes.
Right.
And of
He
course, then he starts reading it. I wrote a couple of jokes into the thing. So my intro got some laughs. He thinks, oh,
I'm funny.
I got the laughs.
No.
Goes off script.
No!
Stay on
Why?
target. Stay on target. And so he starts going off script. He reveals something that I told him that is part of my act, which is a big reveal. The fact that the fact that I just had a daughter and like that, or like I was about to have a daughter at that
So
at
it
that
ruins
point.
like 4 jokes.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right, I got to redo that in my head. And but then he brings me up. The lights are way too high,
Of course.
and
Everywhere.
But that means that I am looking at John Elway, who's sitting in the front row,
Oh
Awesome.
my God.
staring at me,
Oh my God.
doing
his big teeth.
stand up with his
Yeah.
massive teeth. You cannot
Chompers.
miss them.
Yeah.
So we've said this before, and we say this every time we go to Comedy
Teeth
Works.
and hands go
We've-
hand. Oh,
and
never
we've
mind.
never seen John Elway and Gary Busey
in the same room. The same person.
Same guy.
Morphing in it. I actually think as he gets older, he starts to look like Miles the Bronco.
Oh,
He's
come
looking
on.
more and more like the logo.
You know how you start to look like your pets?
Yeah.
He is transitioning into Ric Flair. Everyone needs to be okay with it.
Right.
By the way, did you know that Ric Flair? I just found this out about Ric Flair. He is the only person that has an American Express black card whose name on the black card is not their legal name.
It's just
Really?
No, it's not even Ric Flair.
What
it's
is it?
Nature Boy.
Oh, wow.
No.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
That's
he's
pretty
the
great.
only guy that has that, and I
That's
think
pretty great.
That's who should have that.
Yes.
University of
100%.
Michigan's own.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So I go on stage. I start telling jokes. I get to the part about my daughter, and this is no bullshit. This is 100% true. I named my daughter Elway.
Okay.
And this is before
I know this to be true.
And this is before I was going to do the gig. It was my wife's idea that we were going to name our daughter Elway because
Name her L.
yeah, Ellie.
Ellie.
Those are two
Yeah.
great names. And
Way.
so
E-dubs.
actually,
I named my daughter Buffon.
Get you buffoon.
El Hue in Spanish means the dude, so I think like that's kind of cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Even though it's a
El Hue.
Yeah, this is El
Gender
Hue.
roles. Okay.
Sure, gender fluid. And So that's true because my wife is a hippie from San Francisco. She likes really unusual names.
Great name.
I like very traditional names. We were arguing, and she's like, "How about we name her Persephone?" And I go, "You mean Stephanie?" She goes, "No, Persephone." I go, "That's a horrible idea."
How about Elway?
Yeah. Every day of her life, she's gonna be making that correction.
How about Shanahan?
How about
Yeah.
Easy Ed McCaffrey?
Stanford's own. And my wife looked at the signed jersey I have on the wall and said, "What about Elway?" And my first reaction is absolutely
love
not.
you.
And then the second reaction is Elway Williams.
Yes.
There you
Yeah.
go. That-
How do you not?
She's like a black blues guitarist.
I'm going down to
Why
hear a
not?
set from
Elway
L.A.
Williams.
Williams.
Yeah.
She will be.
It's like he plays the washboard the whole night.
So I go on stage and I say that to John while I'm on stage, and I go, "Just do me one favor, just don't fuck up the name."
Yeah.
Like, because there's a guy out there that was like, who 5 years ago had a son. And was like, "This is named after my favorite comedian. This is Cosby." And then.
I'm really looking
right.
forward to
Yes.
you being a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And John laughed, and when the king laughs, everyone laughs. So and then
That's magic.
I got don't no, it was John Elway, it wasn't Magic Johnson. And
Different.
I got don't my
Magic
set.
Magic
and-
Williams would be a great name. I'm sorry, that's your next kid's name.
John Elway starts the standing ovation. He
Whoa.
stands up, and
That's
I'm
cool.
like, yes.
Thank you.
And that
Oh,
I
great.
got that on. I put that on my Instagram of like John Elway giving me a standing ovation.
That's
It's
awesome.
the craziest thing
Took
ever.
your phone out. All right, I love it.
And then he comes up to me and goes, "Oh man, what are you doing tomorrow?" And I was like, "Well, I have to fly home tomorrow." And he goes, "Oh, I would have invited you to the game tomorrow." And I go,
I mean,
I'm going to the
flying,
game
tomorrow.
I'm flying home on Monday.
I call my at that point 8.5-month pregnant wife and go,
Can you not have this baby? Can you not have this baby?
How big of a cork can you find?
Plug it up.
Think calm thoughts.
And
Plug it up.
God bless my wife. She goes, "No, you stay. You absolutely
right.
stay.
She
You do
knows.
that."
She
so
got it. She got it.
stayed, went to the game, watched the game from John's box.
Whoa.
Which was
So fun.
madness. Got a bunch of merchandise
course.
signed.
It's amazing.
And so yeah, that's it.
I love it.
They say never meet your heroes. That person wasn't talking about John Elway.
That's
Yeah.
phenomenal.
He's awesome.
He is
Or
awesome.
Weird Al.
Weird
That's awesome. I feel
Weird
like
Al
that's
is
a good
amazing.
story.
He's
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
man.
On the
If
show.
he's your hero, you're the luckiest
You're
dude in the world
gold,
because
buddy.
Yeah.
he's the
Or-
best.
And he's exactly who you think he's going to be.
And,
He'll be just as funny as you think he's going to be.
and then sweeter than you would ever
awesome.
imagine.
Yeah.
Should we take a break?
Yeah, I
and
said
then
that's a good story
let's
one.
do- That's a great story one. That's Brad's story. We just checked it out. When we come back, we'll get into the dumb.
Yeah.
This is Dumb People Town with Brad Williams.
Stick around, make a sound for more Dumb People Town.
It's a trying time that challenges all of our basic assumptions. However, one thing that brings us all together is our common humanity. Now, more than ever, teams must come together and work together to solve big challenges. And Trello is here to help. Trello, part of Atlassian's collaborative suite, is an app with an easy-to-understand visual format. Plus, tons of features that make working with your team functional and just plain fun. Teams of all shapes and sizes and companies like Google, Fender, and even Costco all use Trello to collaborate and get work done. With Trello, you can work with your team wherever you are, whether it's at home or in an office. No matter what device you're using, computer, tablet, or phone, Trello syncs across all of them, so you can stay up to date on all the things your team cares about. Keep your workflow going from wherever you are with Trello. Try Trello for free and learn more at Trello.com. That's Trello.com. Trello.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Brad Williams is with us.
I took 3 months off to
Paternity
for
leave.
paternity
To be a daddy,
leave
a
to
new
be a
dad.
good dad.
Now you got to go make some money for that kid.
Man, Asian dwarf babies are not cheap.
They're not
expensive.
Don't I know it? You're talking about buying and selling them, right?
No.
Yeah, wait.
I was looking in the.
I'm-
I was in the market to buy a couple.
Yeah, no, I have one.
I got a whole pallet of them at Costco.
I'm
it.
starting a new reality show. It's called Flip That Baby.
Oh, I'm ready to flip that
And
baby.
where you get an Asian dwarf baby and you
I
try
used
to
to
resell
love.
it.
Can I tell you?
I had an
used to
Asian-
love the moment where you're holding your baby, your hands
Yeah.
on the chest, and you're
So
helping
that
it burp,
Yeah,
from
yeah.
behind. That
Burping the
felt
baby?
so fun. This
so
is
the
fun. I don't
Asian
know why.
dwarf baby, flip that baby. We just put in a guest bathroom. Is that wrong? Well, so here's the deal. Your baby just came into a world that we believe is dumber.
I
It's
agree.
getting dumber.
Or
as
dumb's getting louder.
Dumb's getting louder. You
Or
travel
louder.
around the country. You know how
Yeah.
dumb can actually be very pervasive and how it can like kind of just look. I'm sure you deal with a bunch of stupidity around you all the time.
What with alcoholics on a Friday Night Late Show during the meet and greet?
You're a stupid person magnet. So you know
So
this.
are
How
we, dude.
dare
We-
you talk
no,
about
no,
my
no,
wife
dude.
that
We're
way.
twins.
I'm
We
kidding,
get
I'm
it.
kidding, I'm kidding.
No.
Yeah.
We are the same.
Yeah.
Drunk people, either they, now that you have fame as well, people either recognize us or see us as twins, and we are dumb.
Either way,
drunk
you're kind of
magnets.
you're
Yeah.
now part of this thing. So we have stories sent to us by our fans and awesome people. And so let's jump into one right now while we've
Our
got Brad
second story
Yeah.
of the day.
here. Yeah, the
Okay.
first one was Elway.
I know.
Yeah, buddy.
Standing out.
All right. Also, this says Edmonton. Then it
great.
says, warning, this story contains imagery which some readers may find disturbing.
All right,
Okay.
well,
I
that's
disagree, but you guys
Okay,
get to see
fine.
it.
Okay.
I like that the warning's
That's
there.
how. That's
So
how,
and
like,
it's from
Edmonton.
Edmonton, so it's got offensive imagery. So I can only imagine it's Wayne Gretzky as a St. Louis Blue.
Oh, they're disparaging hockey on this
Hey.
article.
Those hosers.
How'd you do it?
Mark Holmgren was 17 years old when he borrowed his brother's motorbike.
Oh, God.
Good Canadian name, Holmgren.
The
Yep.
Mike
Yeah.
Holmgren of
Yeah.
Canadians.
Mark says that was a decision that would alter his life forever.
To borrow his motorbike?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Quote, I was just driving too fast.
Wait, is it a motorcycle? No, it's a
motorbike.
motorbike.
Oh,
it's a moto.
motorbike. No, it's a motobike. There.
Motorbike.
No, it's
Motorbike.
great. You got the motorbike. You drive up there to Timmy Hortons.
So it's
you
like
get
a
yourself
motor-
So
cup
it's
of
like
coffee.
a Vespa. No,
It's a
motorbike.
No, it's a
motorbike.
motorbike.
Motorbike. There's no R. No R.
Moto.
Motobike.
Quote, I was just driving too fast. I turned a corner and I wiped out. I tore the nerves in my shoulder. It was a brachial plexus injury. From that day, I could never use it ever again. Couldn't
There is
move it.
no way you know what a brachial plexus is until the doctor tells you what
I know it now. Couldn't move it, couldn't feel it.
Oh, it's your simple brachial plex. No, it's not a simple
I
brachial.
knew it was that when I felt it right
said,
away.
"Oh,
I tried to
I
shake
scraped
it off
it.
for 3 months.
Hey, brachial plex. I broke my old plex.
I got brachial plexus.
Brachial plexus is a solid third-round draft pick.
Dude,
Yeah.
brachial plexus.
Brachial plexus.
Great catching radius.
Bad
Great
40
catch
time, but
radius.
he,
Bad
on the
40
field
time.
he moves a lot
Yeah.
faster.
Did he
range.
go to the club and wear sweatpants and had a gun that
That's
shot?
Plaxico Burress.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
He ironically he shot himself in the brachial plexus.
Yeah, in the brachial
Yeah.
plexus. Shot
Yeah.
himself in the foot.
So he says it was an injury that day. He couldn't use it. He couldn't move it. He couldn't feel it. All right.
Okay.
Then what happened?
Okay.
Because it
Here's-
can't just
be that.
Because that happens. People fall off
Right.
ATVs, motorbikes.
All the
They
time.
get injury. It
Motorbikes
sucks.
are not safe. If we
Yeah.
know anything about motobikes, it's
Oh.
that we know they're not safe.
I did another corporate gig where my opening act, it was on some guy's ranch, and he's like, we got ATVs, ride the ATVs
No.
all around the
Nope.
ranch.
Nope.
Opening act goes, fuck yeah. Opening act did not make it to the stage that night because opening act flipped over the bars.
Oh my God.
He was later fine, but they had to call the ambulance, get him out of there, and it's like, all right, I
Yep.
guess I'm
Neck and head trauma.
I guess I'm bringing
like
myself on stage.
anytime you see other people who do this all the time, be like, "Come on, let's do it." You just
Don't do
Don't
it.
do it.
If you have a show that night, you don't do it.
Don't do
Don't
it.
do it.
Okay.
You're an
Go to a
adult.
movie.
You get to say no.
Go to a movie. Go to a diner.
You get to say no thanks.
Keep
Peer
your
press-
keep your plaxico burr brachial
plexus.
intact.
Please keep it all. Yeah.
Yeah. So what happens after that?
Holmgren carried the dysfunctional arm around, attached to him, for how long? How long do
Before
you guys
he
think
sought
it's happened when
medical-
he's 17? And how long before he decided to do something about his unmovable,
This
no
is where it
feeling,
gets dumb.
This-
You can
unusable
go
arm?
first or in between us.
First
or
of
third.
all, this reminds me of a quote from one of the greatest movies of all time. You guys probably know it. I've seen it a million times. It's called Surf Ninjas.
Nope.
I'm with you.
Dan knows.
Surf Ninjas, there's some character that's in a wheelchair, and I just love the quote. I can't even tell you the premise of the movie anymore, but he yells this out at some point during the movie. Don't make me come out there and beat you with the leg of mine that no longer works, because I'll do it.
Okay, so
Yeah,
don't
that's
make me
what-
come out there and
So
beat
how
you with
long
the
was this
arm
guy
of-
saying that? With
Yeah,
his-
yeah,
an
yeah.
arm.
I would say, let's go 5 years.
5 years.
Go
Jesus
5
Christ.
years. Even with the free healthcare in Canada, let's
I
go.
know.
Let's go 5
Right.
years.
This guy
He
didn't
kept
want
thinking it was going to get better.
Yeah.
and he didn't want to pay an arm and a leg for.
Oh,
surgery.
come on, Jay. Get
You're a
out of here.
professional
Jay.
comedian.
Get out of here.
You get paid to do that.
Get
All
outta
right.
here.
I think he did it for 2 months.
2 months.
2 months, didn't tell anyone, and then was like, I can't live with
I
this.
think he did it for 3 months.
3 months. Okay.
I'm going multiple years.
You are really
One
you're
of you
going-
is closer than the other two.
Okay,
Of
that's
course.
All right.
normally happens.
That's Brad then.
How did that work?
It is.
Mark Holmgren carried his dysfunctional arm around, attached to him, unworking, for play along townies wherever you are, because, and we're only in the middle of this story, he did it for 19 years.
Oh my God!
You were right.
Undercut it.
Thank you for
Yeah.
committing to
Why,
that.
were you,
Wow.
why were you so conservative on that, Brad?
Oh,
Jesus
jeez.
Christ.
He did it for nearly 2 decades
The,
before.
the dead arm could have voted.
I know.
Yes.
That's what I call my wife, my dysfunctional arm.
Dysfunctional dead arm.
Dead arm. She's like a dead arm.
Have you had her meatloaf? It's a dead arm.
So I've
She's a
got
dead
two
arm.
dead arms now. I got this, and I got. All right.
So he's been Bob Doling it for nearly 2 years, 2 decades.
Doling it.
And
Doling
he
it.
and you know he's like, oh, it's my brachial plexus. I can't. I'd love to help you move, but look at me.
Is
I
he
can't.
Dan?
probably why
Was
he
he
kept it that way.
embarrassed that he wiped out on the
think he
thing?
probably
And he's
was.
like,
I have
I don't
no
want to
idea.
tell him that
I
I
think
By
wiped
the
on his
way,
bike.
that's a great yeah.
It's a badge of honor. You're still
how'd you
alive.
break your arm or whatever. Like yeah, I was on a motorbike.
Yes. Right.
and it's
Wiped
like
out.
That's a way better story.
You
than
can also
like,
embellish it.
you
That, like I
know?
was doing some crazy trick.
Dude,
where
I
I was
Knievel-
trying out for the X Games.
also by
I wanted to be that guy in the
I
Jeep
Knieveled
commercial.
over 7 people, and
Yeah.
then boom, shoulder.
I Knieveled.
But by 19 years, there's kids in the military that are like, we've heard the story, man.
Yeah,
My whole
go.
life. Yeah.
Did you say that arm could vote? I'm
Yeah.
just getting
Yeah.
your joke.
Yeah.
now. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Holmgren,
I thought that joke was
Yeah, I
better
loved
than
it.
the
You
reaction.
just heard.
I got.
No, it's good.
Okay.
now Holmgren, now 37, carried his dysfunctional arm around for nearly 2 decades before deciding it was time to do something about it this year. Quote, at first it was, I'm going to wait. They'll be able to fix it. They're going to come up with some new stuff, give me a robotic arm, stuff like that.
A robot.
And I've been,
What?
and he's, I know.
Jesus.
Yeah.
He's
He's
like,
like,
AI.
No,
Yeah.
you know my idea for a
Jax from
recreation of a
Mortal
show.
Kombat,
This
right?
is my idea
Jax
for a
from
show.
Mortal Kombat. Good reference.
Thanks, man.
Dan, the $6 million man today
Yeah.
with America's healthcare system,
Right.
like all he has
What
is like
$6
a
million
bionic
gets you?
kneecap.
He's
Yeah.
got
$6 million
very little.
is like a few months in the
Yeah.
hospital.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe like a new kneecap.
Yeah, you don't have a limp anymore. That's why
That's
you're
all they could afford him was $16 million.
And
$6
he
million
has to go fight crime with
in the
like
same
a
way that the
bum
original
leg.
guy did.
Only you guys will get this reference, and I hope more people do. But
Busted.
basically, the modern $6 million man is just Jimmy Schubert.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he had a big
So,
limp.
Yep.
He got some knee stuff
No,
done,
he's
and now
good.
he doesn't
No,
limp.
he's fine.
And he's still funny as hell. Go
He's much
see,
better.
go see Jimmy Schubert. when you go see
Hilarious
his town.
guy.
Hilarious.
So, yeah,
guy.
he's
Loved
like-
him in Go.
Yeah.
Unbelievable in Go,
So
Jimmy
good.
Schubert.
Yeah.
So he was like, yeah, I figured they'd come up with something new, give me a robotic arm, stuff like that. And I've been waiting too long. So he was at some sort of like tete-a-tete with the medical community.
Based
It's like,
on who? I've
you
been waiting
fixed
too
me.
long. You're the one
You're
choosing
the one
to wait.
waiting.
Right.
No one's making
no
you
one
wait.
made you
Quote,
wait.
this is such a defeated thing for a guy who wanted his arm to work again. Quote, I just decided to remove it. Move on, I guess. From your arm, dude.
He
Remove
wait,
his arm.
Did he 127 hours it? But
Maybe.
like Canadian style,
He
where you just
contacted-
like take an ice skate and start like
Dan,
chipping away.
Look,
Yeah.
we need to get my wife and I, my family need to get a new refrigerator. All right, we've been waiting.
Yeah, you've been saying this forever.
My freezer is like broken, and then it works again, then it doesn't work again. I'm like, can we live without a freezer? Maybe.
So you
cannot-
can relate to this guy.
You can't live without an arm.
All right, fine.
yeah. This is
I've
very
been-
European of you living without a
Did he
freezer.
really?
Yeah.
Did he really
Crazy.
remove his arm?
No. Well, he wanted to. He contacted doctors at the University of Alberta Hospital who agreed to amputate his right arm in April. However,
it was his
Holmgren-
left arm, and that was the problem.
God damn it,
Ball's
Holmgren.
coming from the right arm. All right.
Gotta know what it
They
is.
amputated the wrong arm.
That's right.
Now he's got no arm.
God, I hope so.
However, Holmgren didn't want to depart with his arm forever. He wanted to have it preserved.
Nope.
First, they sent me a paper. I signed it, sent it back to the doctor. He brought it into the surgery room with me and just showed me all the doctors in there, and they were all like, "Yep, we know you're the guy with the 20-year dead arms."
Jesus.
That's
Be
what
that
you don't
guy.
want.
You
When
never
you walk
wanna be
into
a
a
patient.
hospital.
Oh, there he is.
we know.
this
If a
guy.
doctor says to another doctor, "There he is," about
That's
you,
bad.
Not
that
good.
means everyone's been talking about your dumbness
Right.
for a while.
Quote,
Yeah.
or not a quote. After about a month after the surgery, Holmgren, Mark, got a call from the lab saying his arm was ready to be picked up. Quote, I carried it out of the hospital in a garbage bag, said Holmgren. I
that
actually
seems right.
kept it in my freezer for about a month.
Yeah, it's something Jason couldn't do.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that.
He admits that shopping around and asking taxidermy businesses to clean up a human arm was a bit of a challenge.
Oh my!
Because he wants to
God.
keep it. A couple of them told me no, like right away.
Yeah.
There was no way they were going to touch human body parts. But after a few weeks of searching, Legends Taxidermy, great plug,
Legends Taxidermy,
In-
Alberta.
That's why they're legendary.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna charge you an arm and a leg. I need to
Come
get that
on,
in
Jason.
every
No,
sense.
Stuff that arm.
Come on.
Is
Legends-
he in a Def Leppard cover, man?
Oh, come on.
Legends Taxidermy in Drayton Valley agreed to the job.
Imagine being his real estate agent going, all right, we're going to get you into an adjustable arm.
Yeah, he's my right hand man. No.
You too, at Sklar Brothers.
Add Brad Williams.
I-
Don't add Sklar Brothers for the adjustable 6-year
Williams.
arm.
Hey, I did an adjustable arm. That's an intelligent arm joke.
Mine was
Don't pay an arm and a leg.
Don't
for
pay
it.
an arm and a leg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the fourth
The
time.
right hand man joke. Quote, I went and dropped it off and I got it back just
That's a
before
Hamilton
Christmas.
reference.
There we go. Merry Christmas. You're getting your arm back.
Your arm.
Holmgren even brought his
All I want for Christmas is my arm.
Yeah, you ready to be glad you're not related to this guy? Mark Holmgren even brought his skeletal arm to Christmas dinner with his family.
No!
I thought it'd be a good centerpiece. Look at it.
You can plant some flowers
I
out of it.
mean, if you had to make the choice between the arm or my racist uncle, I may choose the arm.
That's
I'm
true.
sitting next to the arm. I don't want to sit next to Uncle Dave.
Right. Quote,
Holmgren, give me a hand over here.
I'd rather talk to the arm than Uncle Jeff, who's going to make a whole big thing about Inuits. I don't want to hear
Talk to
it.
the arm. The face ain't listening.
quote, some of them wanted to touch it. Some of them don't want to touch it. It's just mixed feelings when people see it. No shit.
You mean the wide range of spectrum when someone sees a fucking arm on the
Human
table?
arm at a dinner table.
The Edmontonian
animal.
Pass the arm.
plans to show more friends and family his limb before
Mom,
retiring.
do we have any more arm? Yeah, there's a little more arm in the
It's a
kitchen.
little-
Do you want white meat or dark meat on the arm?
that's-
Give me anything from
You know
above
what?
the elbow.
You
I
know
just
what?
want above
Put
the
some
elbow.
of the green bean casserole in the sandwich. Do me up, Mom. Okay, listen to this. The Edmontonian, sorry,
Make a wish on the elbow.
plans.
The arm's a little gamey for me. I'm sorry.
He plans to show more friends and family his limb before retiring it. This arm retired 20 years ago.
What do you mean retiring it? Does he send it up to the rafters?
I know.
What are you, Brett Favre? Retired already, for Christ's sake.
Quote, I'm just going to keep it probably behind the sink in the kitchen. I'm happy I did it. It's just not forever.
Behind the sink in the kitchen.
Okay, I'm going to show you the picture of this guy. You're going to be like, oh, that's him.
Boy.
Look at this fella.
Wait, is that the arm he's holding?
Yes, and he's holding the arm.
He's holding his skeletal
skeletal
arm.
It's a
arm.
skeletal arm.
He looks
Yeah.
like he's on like Canadian Pawn Shop,
Yeah.
Pawn Stars.
Canadian Duck
He also
Dynasty.
looks like he took what is supposed to be an electric
It'd be
fireplace and
Canada
mounted
Goose
it.
Dynasty.
And mounted his electric fireplace
Oh,
as
yeah.
a television.
Look at that. That is true.
What's on tonight?
That's
the fire
Yeah,
again?
that's
Yeah.
a worse decision than the arm.
And you know, the last time he had two working arms is when those throw pillows were new. There's a lot of sweat in those throw
You
pillows.
need to post this picture on. If you listen to this show, and I know there are tens of
Fake
thousands
beard?
of people listening to the show,
He
and
put,
you don't
he put
join,
a lot of blood, sweat, and arms into that apartment.
Right.
please like our Facebook page. Please join it. All these pictures are on it.
Follow
You can
it.
comment on it. Become part of the community. Is that the
Yes,
story?
That's story number
Oh
two.
my God!
Holy
Story
shit.
number
Metal.
2. God, it's story number 2 features something that the guy didn't have, which is 2 arms. When we come back, can you give us a little taste of our third story? What we're going to hear?
Yeah.
with
Yes,
Bradley?
I totally can. We have a guy who was way too into video games and paid the price for it.
Okay, there we go.
Ooh.
Get ready, Townies. Got one more segment with Brad Williams. We'll be right back after this.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. All right, Dan, what you got for us? Bring us
Okay.
home, brother.
All right. Whoops. According to South, this is. I know.
Whoops, there it is.
I always say this. I'm sorry. It's one of my running jokes. If you listen to the show a lot, this is like a real friendship. Friends talk to each other about the same shit all the time.
Whoops.
This reminds me of what I hate when a menu talks to you.
Yep.
You're gonna love these hams.
Nope.
Like no, you don't. No, stop. Stop telling
You don't
me
even
things.
know how excited you're going to be. No,
For these
I know.
jalapeno
I know how
poppers.
excited I
Guess
am.
what we did
By the
with
way,
these
let,
chicken
me,
fingers.
let
Yeah.
me gauge my level of excitement menu.
Right. Exactly.
Let me be
decide.
in control.
Right. But these articles talking to us.
You won't
Whoops.
be able. Ugh.
This is short but weird. Good third story.
Short but weird. That can describe me.
That's right. Many things in this room right
Yeah.
now.
folks.
According to South China Morning Post, a man in China spent an eye-watering $1.4 million.
Is that eye watering?
Mouth
That's the
watering.
wrong.
Mouth
No,
watering.
I like you.
Was this one of those weird translations like the Chinese bakery?
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, you did not mean to call it that.
Yeah. Did you hear about that car that just came out?
What was that?
Oh, it was in Europe. It was
By the way, good job for a car being that confident in its sexuality to come out like that.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Good
it'd been a
job.
long time.
Uh,
he finally
you
knows
are.
what it is. It's
Yeah.
actually a truck.
I think it's a Subaru, and it's like the Forester Utility Customized Kit Edition, and
Oh,
it's
the
spelled so it's Fox.
Fuck edition.
Yes, and they didn't know it when they put it in English that it was
Right.
going to like
Which
say
ironically,
fuck.
because no one fucks in a Subaru.
I know.
car looks dope.
Well,
but
I mean-
everybody freaked out, and I'm like, there are people who will want to buy this car just because it's called the Fuck
Who
Edition.
doesn't want to
The
buy the
fuckmobile?
fuck car?
The fuckmobile?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's get
What's
the fuck-
that? That's my fuck car.
Fuckmobile.
Yeah. All right, so that was a fun one.
They have kit cars, now they have fuck cars.
All right,
It's
this
perfect.
guy in China spent an eye-watering $1.4 million on his character in an MMORPG, which is a
Multimedia.
mass multiplayer role-playing game, multiplayer online role-playing game.
So I saw a whole story on Vice about there's a guy
Which is what
in
Fortnite is.
There's a guy
Sort
in
of, not an
Canada
RPG. Yeah.
It's
who
an MMO.
started to do like people could come to his character and bring their characters and just start saying basically like therapy type thing.
Right.
Wow.
As these characters. And I don't know how people found out about it. I don't know how it happened, but now he's like the most famous, wealthiest dude ever. And he's
Really?
like in Toronto and and people from all over the world just, like a tiny little
He's a
Cubert will come up
Fortnite
and
therapist.
kind of like a little Cubert will come up to him and be like, I have a problem doing this. And then and he would just listen. He just
Really?
listens. Yeah, it's amazing.
Wow.
Because you've,
can I get in
for
on that?
like birthdays and like Hanukkah and stuff, you've spent money on Liev's Fortnite character, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've gotten him some skins.
So do you know that you can find out how much his character's worth? And then he can sell that character if he wanted to.
I didn't know that.
Oh, so you can.
Oh, wow.
Wow, so you can almost flip Fortnite characters?
Yeah, that's
People
right.
do it. Yes.
Flip
That's why
that
some people when
Fortnite character.
when like a super limited edition thing will come out for like a day and you have
Yeah.
to do these things. People will do that and then they'll turn around and sell it.
You want
So
it?
it's like Extreme Makeover Fortnite Edition.
Yeah.
So
He
instead of like
wants some.
He wants
move
some.
that bus, it's like move that Mountain Dew Code Red.
That's right. We are going to do a show called Fortnite Flippers.
Let's do it.
You want it?
Here's the sad thing. That would sell.
Damn.
It would sell.
Dan.
It would
We're gonna
100%.
take your. We can't sell that to Quibi.
I know.
You probably
Probably.
can.
Okay.
Fortnite flippers.
So he spent $1.4 million. Close. That's probably close to what Jason's had to spend on his
New
son's
refrigerator.
Fortnite.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you know what? You probably could have had a new refrigerator
If
for
you
the
wouldn't have
money
bought
you
him
spent
the
on
Fortnite
Fortnite.
Stupid
skins.
Fortnite
He
skins.
had to do a weird dance, didn't he?
$1.4 million on his character in the game Justice Online. His buddy accidentally sold his character
Yikes.
for how much amount of money?
Okay.
Oh.
How much do you think he sold it for?
Let's
Okay.
see.
By the way, this was not an accident.
$1.4 million.
He's saying
It's
it was
worth,
an accident.
it's worth $1.4 million.
And
Well, that's what he
obviously
paid for it.
it.
That's not what it's worth.
Could be worth more if
Right.
things are harder to get
What
over
Yeah.
time.
What did he pay for?
I would say that he got some offer. He didn't know that it was worth 1.4 million. He got some offer of like $20, and he was like, "Oh,
I'll take
shit.
it. So you say
20
$20?
bucks.
$20.
All right, Jay, what do you say?
$10,000.
I say $1 million.
$1 million.
So
Okay,
it's
Townies, play
400,000
along.
in the hole.
Yeah.
Yeah. He accidentally sold the character for $552.
Oh my God, Brad.
I said $1,000.
Yes.
Or
Oh
$10,000.
my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brad, you're right. You said $20.
The man
Price is right at
who
your
spent
ass.
$1.4 million, he filed a lawsuit against the game company NetEase and his friend, former friend, I guess.
Yeah.
The friend
You think?
or defendant had been loaned the character and reportedly tried to sell it back to the man. What? Okay. for $55,138.
How was he loaned the character? Who
Yeah,
loaned it
and
to
then
him?
the
signed
guy
it.
who created it loaned it
Loaned
to
it to
his
him.
friend, and the
And
guy
he
was
tried to
like,
sell
"I'll
it.
sell it back to you at like a really big discounted rate," which maybe they agreed to. I don't really understand.
I don't know enough about Fortnite to know how that works.
James.
or whatever
Yeah.
this game
Wow,
is. Justice
this game
Online.
is Justice Online. I don't
right.
know what it is.
Oh yeah, Justice Online.
$55,130. Instead, it was listed for $552. So he made a mistake when he inputted the money.
it wrong.
Right.
Wow.
And he did it on NetEase's in-game marketplace, and it was soon purchased by another player entirely.
Wow.
So imagine that you're this guy, and you're like, "Holy shit,
Yep.
this
Yeah.
character!" Like,
Yep.
and the other dude is like, "Oh, just put it up there for $55,000. Nobody's gonna buy it right away. I'll get to it tomorrow."
This is like the video game equivalent of the wife who got the Ferrari in the divorce, and
then
and she sells it for like, I don't want this thing.
Here, you take it for-
$100,000 or something. Turns out it's a vintage that's worth like $4 million.
right.
That's
there was
insane.
like an American.
Sell it back to the guy.
What's
Yeah.
the Roadshow, whatever.
Antique Roadshow?
Yes.
Antiques Roadshow.
Yeah.
Did you see the guy had like a $700 Rolex or something like that,
Yeah.
and he found out it was worth like $750,000. He fainted. The old dude like fainted. Oh God. Okay, so
I would sell that thing immediately.
Yeah, they
Immediately.
list.
I would literally
immediately.
sell it
Yeah.
immediately. I'd be like,
And then with a fraction of that, go get an amazing Rolex.
What I
Yeah.
would
if you
say
still
is,
wanted one.
Get a $30,000 Rolex, you still have $700,000.
what I would say is,
Yeah.
okay, turn off those cameras, walk with me over to wherever we need to go, and
Right.
let's price this thing out. Let's go do it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll give you 10%.
Yeah, take the commission.
Don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
10%.
going to
You want
uncut gems
75
this.
grand?
I'm going to
Walk.
uncut gems
I didn't
this
see the
right
movies. Don't say it.
now. Oh, are you kidding
I haven't
me?
seen it yet. I'm going to.
Have you seen it?
I have not.
Oh,
as
yeah,
well.
I know.
We're horrible comedians, and he's a worse Jew.
Yeah.
I gotta see it.
Okay.
Yeah, got to.
You're going to call me. Remember what I told you about Abducted in Plain Sight?
Yep. Did you
And-
see Abducted in Plain Sight?
On Netflix?
What's that one?
Brad.
Oh, Brad. Brad, when
I
you-
haven't even got
Brad,
to Don't Fuck with Cats.
Brad,
Don't
wait,
ever. Stay away from
Stay
that.
with
Okay.
that.
Go to
Abducted in Plain Sight, and
yeah.
when you hit minute 21,
Oh.
Text us.
text us.
Okay.
You first of all,
on.
you won't be able to not text us.
It's
You
on my
have-
list.
Or just at Twitter. I don't care where it is. In
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
form,
Say it
you're
on
going to
Twitter.
need to reach out to somebody.
You're gonna need-
Dude.
I'm gonna
Minute
talk to some people.
21.
And I would tell you, like, watch it on the plane, but only watch it on the plane if you're on a plane that has Wi-Fi, because
That's
you're
right.
going to
You-
need
you
to,
have
like,
to
reach
text
out.
us.
You
have
can't
to
be stuck.
pause it and text us.
And then I'm gonna
Because
tell
if
you-
not, I'll be like, I'll be hitting the flight attendant call button, just like,
Right.
I need to tell someone about
Yes,
this.
I'm
what
not
just
joking.
happened.
Please let me
And
tell
that's
air
minute-
traffic control so that they can then put
That's
out
minute 21.
Yeah.
Wait until it's over.
It's just
Oh.
it's,
A dozen
I
in a
can't.
row
As
text
a parent,
messages
I
from
can't.
Randy.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay, here we go. So this guy goes on. He's like, "Oh, I'll sell it back to you for
yeah,
55 grand,"
Mhm.
and maybe they did a high number. Like, I'll just give you back the 55 grand, but we'll do a high number so that nobody buys it.
Right,
And they
sure.
messed it up. 552. It was soon purchased by another player. During the court mediation that followed, the defendant claimed the shocking low price was due to a typo induced by exhaustion after a marathon gaming session, which is also
Whatever.
real.
Yeah, that does
Yeah.
happen. That does.
does
happen. Hey, maybe don't post it after you do a marathon
Right.
session, right?
There you go.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe don't do any. It's like, you know, when
Maybe
something
don't
big
give your
happens,
$1 million entity away to
when-
anybody.
Yeah.
For
Don't
any-
make a big. That's why when people say like when a parent dies or something traumatic happens, don't go sell the house
Yeah,
right away.
don't
Like,
do
don't do
anything.
anything.
Right.
Just
Wait.
allow things to
Yeah.
happen.
Settle down.
And
No,
then,
I'm going to do my taxes after a marathon.
yeah, do the marathon and then
Wait.
sleep at night and
wait.
then go fuck your friend over.
Yeah.
South China Morning Post reports the suit was settled by a judge who mediated the proceeding online. Authorities in China are now pointing to this mediation as a way judges can oversee legal disputes remotely. Oh, so they even did the judge even worked online. Everything's
Wow.
happening online.
This is like in. I wonder if
I'm like a
this is
mom in Florida. Everything's happening online. It's crazy. Everything's happening online.
Dan, I wonder if this is like my oldest daughter just showed me this. Like this is a video that is now going around to her friends. Is two people on divorce court, two gay men on divorce court,
Love it already.
who 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 disrespectfully refer to the judge, the woman, and they're like, the woman's like, okay, everybody be quiet, or so.
Yeah.
And one of the black dudes, he was like, okay, Miss Girl, and the woman's like,
The judge?
Excuse me,
Oh.
what did you call me? And the other one was like, Miss Tolan.
Yeah.
And then one was like, it's Judge Tolan, you dumbasses.
Yeah.
Like, it just, that Miss Girl, what'd you
What'd you
call
call
me?
me?
Miss
Miss
Tolan. It's Judge Tolan. That little exchange, I wonder if that happened in this thing with
Oh.
a Chinese judge.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that's cool. Like they got judges online. Like that's gonna
Online judging.
That's gonna
That's the next level.
immensely
It's the next
make
level.
it here where it's like we
You don't have to go to court. There you go.
in the settlement, NetEase canceled the sale transaction.
Thank you, NetEase.
Okay.
And while the plaintiff, I don't know why I said it that way, while the plaintiff got his $1.4 million.
Ready?
plain-
Did you say ready?
plaintiff.
Ready plaintiff one?
Yeah.
I was like still reading talking.
That is
missed
such
my Ready Player One joke.
It was a great joke. That's
you.
like an
Yeah.
insult that you would say to a girl named Tiffany. Just that's plain
Plaintiff.
tiff.
That is good.
She
Very
should,
basic
she
tiff.
should be nicer, but
Well,
She wears
while,
Crocs.
while the plaintiff got his $1.4 million investment back,
their
he
friendship
repo-
will never be the same.
he reportedly had to pay $12,789 in damages to the player who bought the pricey character on the cheap.
Good.
So they were
Oh,
like,
okay,
they're
so
like,
still-
okay, we'll cancel the transaction.
But you gotta
and the
pay
guy
this
who bought
guy.
it for $500 won't get your character, and you'll
No.
get your character back.
Which, by the way, I'm
But
sure
just
they
for
were.
you guys being idiots,
You're going to have to pay him $12,000.
you had to pay
Yeah.
him $12,000.
Great. I say that's it.
I would love that to be a standard where it's like, no, this is an idiot tax.
right.
Right,
Like,
it's kind of what it
tax.
is.
You kind of like, yes, this is
Idiot tax.
We'll side on you,
But you have to
fucked
pay
up.
the idiot tax.
Right, but you have to pay the idiot
And
tax.
actually,
If we taxed stupidity in this country, we could fund a new and better
Anything.
education system
right.
to create
Anything.
less idiots.
we would have
No,
pil-
but you'd want to
we-
keep the idiots because you want the
Gotta
tax
keep-
coming
yeah,
in.
Yeah,
Right?
Oh, so that
The
would be
perpetuation of the
Right.
idiot
Right.
tax. Okay,
Yeah.
we're figuring stuff out.
Was
here.
that what Chris Rock said? You know, in medicine, the money's not in the cure; it's in the
the drug,
treatment.
yeah.
It's
Money's in the
treatment.
medicine.
Money's in the
All right.
medicine.
Is that it?
Those are stories. The one that
See-
they were brought to you today by Brad Williams, by CTV News, and
Yeah.
by I think it's Kotaku.
See, we want to make fun of the video game guys, but at the same time, you said this was happening in China. Guess who doesn't have coronavirus because they're just playing video games
In their own
24 hours
house.
a day?
Guys who don't leave and see the light of day.
Yeah,
There you go.
exactly. So
And it's
well
definitely
done, guys.
guys.
Well done,
I
gentlemen.
think we
Mostly
came up with something here with Brad Williams that we need to explore further, the idiot tax. Let us
Absolutely.
ruminate on that, and then we'll move forward. BradWilliamsComedy.com. Check him out when he is live near you. He's got to make some money for his damn baby. All right? His damn dwarf Asian baby.
Who is beautiful.
Who is the cutest little thing
Asian
ever.
dwarf baby, the ADB.
I look on your
Gotta fund
Instagram
the
and
ADB.
I see how beautiful that little baby is. I can't wait to hold her someday soon.
Enjoy her, and oh shit, we got to get back to work.
Dum 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 dum. Stick around, make a sound, hunker down. It's Dumb People Town.
Starburns Audio.
A podcast network.